Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all having a great summer. I miss you and hope to see you soon. Today, we're going to be talking about a Good Samaritan. A Good Samaritan is someone who does good deeds for others. It's a helper without being asked and not expecting anything in return. And then the Bible story for today is called The Good Neighbor, also Samaritan. So the verse is, love the Lord your God. Love him with all your heart, all your soul, all your strength, and all your mind. Also, you must love your neighbor as you love yourself. And that's Luke 10, verse 27. A Jewish lawyer asked Jesus, what must I do to go to heaven? What does God's law say? Asked Jesus. Love the Lord with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself, he answered. You're right, said Jesus. But who is my neighbor? Asked the lawyer. Jesus told him a story. Once a traveler was attacked by robbers. They beat him up and left him to die in a ditch. Then a priest passed by. But when he saw the injured man, he walked by on the other side of the road, said Jesus. And next a temple worker hurried by. He didn't stop to help either. Finally, a foreigner saw the poor man. He bandaged his wounds, and he lifted the man out of the ditch and took him to a safe place. Jesus asked the lawyer, which man was a good neighbor to the hurting stranger? The man who helped him, said the lawyer. Jesus said, go and do the same thing. Take care of the hurting people around you. And I wanted to give you guys some examples of good neighbors that I know and have heard of. One is this 4-year-old kid named Austin. He lives in Alabama, and he wears a Superman cape and goes around and passes out chicken sandwiches to homeless people. He is so cute, and one of the homeless men told him, he said, you are the reason that I want to be a better person. Imagine, this little tiny boy might have changed that man's life forever. He was showing a true example of being a good neighbor and being like Jesus. Another example I have is a friend of mine named Carl. Carl was born without the use of his arms and his legs, and his brain can't tell his body what to do, so he can't speak, he can't walk, he can't do things with his arms and his hands. But where he lived, in a home called Bell House, where my sister-in-law used to work, a lot of his friends who also had disabilities would have trouble with their computers. And Carl was great with computers. And Carl would always be willing to help them with their computer issues. And Carl would lay on his belly, and he had this band that would go around his head and a stick sticking off of it. And he would lay on his belly and rework those people's computers using a stick on his head. He was an amazing neighbor and friend to those people. Another example is this picture of a big kid helping a little kid learn to drive a golf cart. It's a tiny thing, but look at the joy it brought to both of their faces. There's some artists in downtown Greensboro that have painted these wooden boards that are protecting windows and have turned something that wouldn't be very pretty into beautiful artwork, just to show their love and support to people that are hurting right now. And that's a really cool thing to do. Here's another image of protesters praying with police officers in Greensboro. This is a great example of how two groups can come together to work together and be great neighbors. You're never too little or too young or too old or too weak to be a good neighbor and share your love and to always be a good Samaritan. Like my shirt says, be the good in the world. Because I believe that if you look for the good, you'll always find the good. So I hope you all have a great week, and I can't wait to see you soon.